If you've described restorative yoga as slow yoga or yin with more props, you've described two things it isn't. And the missing definition is why so many restorative classes don't actually restore anyone. I'm Sage Rountree. I've spent over 20 years teaching yoga and training yoga teachers. And I built fundamentals of teaching restorative yoga because this is the category of class that gets miscategorized more than any other practice I teach. By the end of this video, you'll have a clean one-sentence definition of restorative yoga you can use with students, studio owners, or anyone who asks, plus the 4 contrasts that make the definition stick. And before we go further, I made you a free download called Best Shavasana Ever, which walks you through the 6 supports that turn a flat shavasana into a complete nervous system reset. The link is in the description. Let me start with what restorative yoga isn't, because in 20 years of teaching, this is where almost every misunderstanding lives. Here are 4 contrasts. Restorative yoga is not gentle yoga. Gentle yoga is still active. We're mobilizing through the joints with light load. We have high frequency, medium duration, and low intensity. Picture a Swedish massage, pulsing, repetitive, soft. At the end of a gentle class, students feel balanced and relaxed, but the body has been doing some light work the whole time. Restorative is not yin yoga. Yin targets deep connective tissue, fascia, ligaments, tendons, joint capsules. Low frequency, medium to high duration, and the whole point is sensation. Students work at their own appropriate edge, often a 4 or 5 out of 10, and learn to stay present with discomfort. Restorative has 0 target sensation. If your student feels any stretch, they need more props. Restorative yoga is not a long shavasana. Shavasana is one shape at the end of class. A restorative class typically contains 3 to 5 shapes held 15 to 30 minutes each, with the body propped so completely that no part touches the cold, hard floor. And it's definitely not slow vinyasa. Slow flow still does yoga to the body. Restorative does yoga for the body. Different relationship entirely. Here's an image I love. If you know the Taoist symbol of yin and yang with the 2 koi fish swimming together, swimming together, yin and yang practices are both fish in the same pond. 2 sides of the mountain, the sunny side and the shady side, applying different kinds of stress to create change in the body. But yin and yang are a closed system. Restorative isn't even in the koi pond. Restorative is the air around the mountain that has the sunny side and the shady side. It's got a different project. Here's the one-sentence definition I want you to walk away with. Restorative yoga is a guided rest practice in which props create full body support so the nervous system can shift into parasympathetic activation, the rest and digest state where the body actually heals. 3 pieces from this definition I want to unpack for you. Number 1, props create full body support. The props are the practice. I call it raising the floor to meet you. Every part of the body gets propped up. Nothing is fighting gravity, nothing is touching cold, hard floor. Setup is the practice. Parasympathetic activation. 2 branches of the autonomic nervous system: sympathetic, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and parasympathetic, rest, digest, tend, and befriend. Most of our students live in sympathetic mode all day. The nervous system needs specific conditions to downshift. It needs to be soft, warm, dark, supported. And poses need to be held for a good while, at least 15 minutes. Octopus. Less than that, and you don't get the shift. There's a physiological reason for the long holds. You can't talk a nervous system into relaxing. There's a bumper sticker I love. It says something like, "Never in the history of calming down has anyone calmed down by being told to calm down." The nervous system responds to conditions, not to verbal instruction. And where the body actually heals. In parasympathetic mode, cortisol drops, heart rate variability improves, digestion turns back on, the immune system gets to work. This isn't a luxury practice. It's a biological necessity our culture, unfortunately, trains us to skip. Here's why this definition matters for your teaching. 3 reasons. Number 1, your students trust you more. Clarity creates safety. When you can name what you're offering in a restorative class and what you aren't, students stop second-guessing whether they showed up to the right class. Second, you can pitch it to studio owners, to corporate clients, to healthcare partners. Your students are overstimulated. Restorative gives them parasympathetic rest they can't generate on their own. That's a sentence a studio owner could put on a schedule. And third, you'll stop second-guessing yourself. When you know what restorative is, you already know how to teach it. The worry that you're doing it wrong usually traces back to a fuzzy definition. Here are a few phrases you can borrow tonight. You're allowed to take these and use them as your own. Before your next restorative class, to set expectations, we are doing a grounded rest practice today. You'll be supported by props in a few shapes for 15 to 20 minutes each. There's no stretching to feel, no work to do. Your only job is to let the props hold you. When a student asks how restorative yoga differs from yin yoga, you could say yin works your connective tissue. Restorative doesn't ask anything of any tissue at all. It just asks your nervous system to drop it. To a studio owner who hasn't programmed restorative before, your students are chronically overstimulated. Restorative yoga gives them the parasympathetic rest they can't generate on their own. And here's a small one I use in every restorative class I teach. If you're not sure whether you need that extra blanket, you need that extra blanket. Take the upgrade. How do you currently describe restorative to a student who's never tried it? Do you compare it to yin, to gentle, to shavasana, or do you have your own one-sentence version? Drop it in the comments. I would love to know. If you want a way to apply this tonight, grab the free Best Shavasana Ever guide in the description. It will teach you the 6 supports that can turn any shavasana into a complete nervous system reset. And if you want the total system, the full framework, prop library, sequencing logic, 15+ video lessons, and 20 Yoga Alliance CEUs, check out Fundamentals of Teaching Restorative Yoga, the links below. Now you have a definition you can use, you know 4 contrasts that make it stick, and 3 phrases you can borrow before your next class. The next step is how to actually teach a restorative class start to finish. I'll link that video next. Make sure you like this one and subscribe so you don't miss a single video.